Welcome back to another episode of Who's That Saber? Now, of course, we all know whose saber this is. This is Cal Kestis' saber, and I promise this may well possibly be the last video I do on this, probably not. I wanted to do a very quick roundup. Now that we've had the limited edition released by Disney on May the 4th, the collector's edition from Jedi Survivor, the original versions that were released back in, I think, 2017 for the original Jedi Fallen Order game, it seemed like a perfect opportunity to do a bit of a roundup. I also want to show you something slightly naughty that I've done with the latest limited edition version that I think you guys are going to like. I found a way to make a custom split saber just like the one that he has in the game. Stick with me. So just as a starting point, the magnificent Jedi Fallen Order Cal Kestis single hilt lightsaber. This is an absolute thing of beauty. Disney did a great job here. The attention to detail around the broken pommel is absolutely awesome. Beautiful. It's heavy. It's a little too heavy. It is big. Most of the complaints around this are around the fact it is too big. Next in line is the limited edition. No, you shouldn't really call it that because it's technically the collector's edition, but it is still limited. Limited collector's edition. I'm going to go with that. There we go. Jedi Survivor lightsaber that Cal uses. Now, this was released by Limited Run Games. They did 6,000 of these, split into 2,000s across 3 different consoles. So if you didn't pick one of these up in the pre-order, that's it, unfortunately. But really nice. Biggest difference is the change in the pommel. They added the Jedi Survivor fixed pommel at the bottom, makes it a real two-handed lightsaber, which is nice. Everything else is exactly identical to the original single-bladed hilt. There's no color change functionality, there's no change in the electronics, the sounds are the same. They even kept, which is a bit of a bugbear for me, the CoverTech wheel here. When you have a declip, they should at least have taken that off, but never mind. The original beast, which was the Jaro Tapal double-ended lightsaber. Now this was the OG. The problem with this was the handle in the middle wasn't quite long enough to do stuff with, but also it wasn't really long enough to sit with the single version of the pommel that we got, which was quite a longer handle. So it just needed to be a fraction longer. You've got this nice bit in the middle where you've got your vent for your sounds and effects and stuff. Overall, it's a lovely saber. It's heavy, and this one feels completely balanced because you've got equal weight on both sides. The limited edition, I've done a full video on this and I'll throw a link to that at the end. But when I initially reviewed it, I said it was massive and I said it was too big and this, that and the other. Now that I'm seeing it next to the original Jaro Tapal lightsaber, it doesn't feel as big. It's still heavy, and it's heavier at the saber-Junda side of it, definitely. And look at the side of that, that's an absolute beast. Do some damage with that. It's like the head of a mace. But it's a beautiful lightsaber. There's no two ways about it. There are things they could have done better. Improved electronics is a starting point. You know, different lightsaber hums when you change the light colors and stuff like that. But the fact that they added in the ability to change the lights by pressing this button for 5 seconds on the saber-Junda, pressing this hidden button on the Cal side, you can cycle through the 6 main colors. And there you go. It's not perfect, but then is anything that Disney do perfect? I'd argue not. Would I recommend picking up one of these lightsabers? If you're a massive Cal Kestis fan, I would potentially recommend picking up one, but I'd pick up one of the originals. The originals are still relatively cheap, is not the right word, but compared to the others, the original is still fairly cheap. You can find it online, you can find it on eBay for about £100. So the original is a thing of beauty anyway. If you're wondering what these guys look like when they're ignited, I'll give you a quick blitz through. This is a splitter, and I originally bought this to put in place of the coupler on my Jaro Tapal saber. I'm going to see if I can put this in my kestis-Junda saber. As a starting point, with the current connector, it's male to female on both sides. The Cere-Junda half has a male connector there, so that's not going to work for us, unfortunately. But you can connect the 2 Cal halves together. Hello, handsome. So if you were going to have this, you might repaint it brown maybe, but the bottom line is, I've now got my split saber, my color changing split saber. Look at that, it's awesome. So I'll show you what this looks like in the dark. But it's not perfect, but it's an option for you, isn't it? Because I've got that splitter on there, I have a complete saber-Junda one with the usable pommel, so I can use that as a single saber now if I wanted to. So now I can dual wield saber-Junda ones. Don't know why you would want to, but you can. So heavy, they're ridiculous. Now I know most people aren't going to want to have to try and find a way to get their hands on 2 of these limited edition sets. I contacted Rocky Mountain 3D Print just to find out whether they were intending to make a connector for the new limited edition set, and on the day that I contacted him, they'd actually just uploaded the brand new design onto the website. So they're available on Etsy. They are silver, so they blend in very, very nicely with the limited edition set, and it means that you can have a Cal, Cere or kestis-Junda, whatever you want to call it, limited edition set that splits just like it does in the game. What do you guys think? Would you like to see more? I think at most, if I was going to get anything now that related to this kind of saber, what I really want, Disney, is an official metal coupler in the middle that allows you to do a very authentic quick release. Make that and I'll throw my money at you.